everyone, it's Jay here, and these are the Manga and Manhwa releases for the first half of February. We're going to start with the Kodansha releases. A Condition Called Love, Volume 11. The re-emergence of Hotaru's estranged childhood friend, Non-chan, causes a rift between our star couple after Hananoi-kun's attempt to protect Hotaru only ends up hurting her. Can Hananoi-kun change his ways and right the wrong, or is this the end of their romance? Mobile Suit Gundam Kukuru's Doan's Island Volume 3. The epic spin-off of Yoshikazu Yasuhiko's Mobile Suit Gundam The Origin continues, and it's focusing on the story of Kukuru's Doan. The YO2 platoon is forced to make hard choices as the pragmatism of the battlefield collides with their intrinsic morality. We witness their participation in the early stages of Operation British, the disastrous consequences of which gave rise to the deaths of billions and caused the direct invasion of Jaburo currently underway. Snow and Ink Volume 2. Disgraced former heiress Freya and Neneo, a traumatized boy teetering on the edge of despair, find solace in each other's arms, but to keep going they need money, and the only way to make it work is for Freya's former fiancé, who insists they go on a research trip to Neneo's remote village, the site of so much death. The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity Volume 5. After spending so much time together, Rintaro has grown comfortable around Kaoruko and has even begun to suspect he may like her as more than a friend. But just as the school term was drawing to a close and Rintaro began looking forward to spending his first summer vacation with all his friends, Kaoruko's friend springs a surprise on him. Her birthday is only a few weeks away. The 7 Deadly Sins, 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, Volume 15. Just as the threat of the giant beast finally passes, a new crisis emerges. A fierce battle erupts against the formidable Chaos Knights. In the midst of all this chaos, Master Swordsman Lancelot faces off against an expert in the art of Aido. The other Knights of the Apocalypse and their allies find themselves overwhelmed by a barrage of arrows, the menace of petrification, and the terrifying power of the Testament Beast. Their situation grows dire. Vinland Saga Deluxe Volume 6. This oversized collection includes volumes 16 to 18 of the Japanese edition of Vinland Saga, plus 53 pages of bonus content, including Makoto Yukimura's samurai short story For Our Farewell Is Near, presented in its entirety in English for the first time, and a new introduction to For Our Farewell Is Near by the author, never before published in English. Windbreaker Volume 9. Tsubakino, one of Furin's high school's 4 kings, invites Haruka Sakura and his new group of friends to the entertainment district, an electrifying place illuminated by neon lights. Emotions quickly run high after they bump into a group of vigilantes, hell-bent on protecting their territory in the same way Sakura and his friends protect their town. We have a new series called Fall in Love, You False Angels. All sugar, no spice, and everything nice. That's the impression the beautiful first-year high schooler and class president Otogi gives to those around her. One look from the school's heartthrob angel is all it takes to sweep countless admirers off their feet. But the real Otagi Katsura is no angel. She's calculating, ruthless, and sharp-tongued. When Otagi slips up and exposes her inner baddie in front of the class' other paragon Toki, he counters by revealing an unexpected side of his own and declaring her his partner in crime. The Fable Volume 6. An innocuous detective agency hides a criminal secret. They're entrapping doting helicopter parents and their entitled children, taking them for all they're worth and burying the bodies with an excavator. It's a brutal racket, but it's not their first. Their last scheme was busted up once upon a time by none other than Fable. What will happen when old memories stir? This omnibus edition includes volumes 11 and 12. My Gently Raised Beast from Yen Press. This is volume 9. The shadow of war has passed, and peace returns to the land, but Blondina and Amon find themselves on another battlefield, the struggle of raising 2 boys. Not a day goes by without the mischievous twins cooking up some kind of trouble, and Blondina wouldn't have it any other way. I think this is the final volume of the series. Pink Habanero, Volume 2. Mugi's been doing her best to keep the secret of Kurosei Kei's part-time job, so she should be the only girl at school who knows the aloof, pretty boy spends his evenings serving parfaits and tea whilst dressed as a knight. But one day Mugi receives an anonymous, threatening letter, ordering her to stay away from Kei. See you in my 19th life, Volume 5. Now that Sei has finally agreed to go on a date, things seem to finally be breaking Ji-eum's way, or so she thinks, except Cho-won can't seem to shake her suspicions about Ji-eum's strange behaviour back at her family's summer home, and ultimately comes to a shocking conclusion. This is out on the 4th of February. Then we have Volume 6 of Taemoon Empire. Trouble is brewing on the outskirts of the Taemoon Empire. A border dispute centred around an obscure stretch of woodland has been growing ever more contentious, and it's only a matter of time before the Imperial Army and the tribe that lives in the forest end up in open warfare. From Titan Comics, we have Volume 10 of Atom: The Beginning. This series is based on Osamu Tezuka's world-famous series Astro Boy. It's a prequel to the original series, telling the stories of the developers of the artificial intelligence that would eventually give birth to the iconic Atom, but it can also be read as a standalone sci-fi manga about the turbulent lives of two robotic engineering students and their latest revolutionary project, the unassuming yet insanely strong A106, or 6. In this one, responding to a distress call, 6 scurries around only to be greeted by an old acquaintance, but when a powerful foe starts detecting 6, he must grapple with saving his friends and saving himself. Sword of the Titans Volume 1. This is for fans of epic fantasy and supernatural battles between gods and demons. Set in a time when gods and humans lived and fought together, a young boy called Tsuchimaru was helpless in the face of such mighty struggles, until a mysterious wandering artisan came by with a sword they had forged and gifted it to the child, enabling him to take up arms in the titanic conflict. From Viz Media we have Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Volume 1. In a cruel twist of fate, Boruto's and Kawaki's lives have been switched due to a powerful jutsu. Now branded a traitor, Boruto is on the run from his village and training with Sasuke. But when Konoha comes under attack, it's time for a grown-up Boruto to return home and show how powerful he's become. Colette Decides to Die Volume 2. In addition to the underworld, Colette has taken on a temporary role as healer to the celestial realm. When Hades, Lord of the Dead, has concerns about her safety there, he takes action in a surprising way. Dandadan Volume 11. Momo struggles to counter a sudden attack by alien clones, and in order to avoid the slit-mouthed woman Reiko Kashima, who is still very much on the hunt for her, Momo and Serpo must hide out overnight in a manga cafe. In the Name of the Mermaid Princess Volume 5. Inspired by their success in Totodoto, Princess Mio and her allies continue their journey to Aquatia. There, Mio looks forward to meeting her fiancé, Prince Chika, again, but does her heart lie elsewhere? And will the real Prince Chika finally reveal himself? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Shining Diamond's Demonic Heartbreak Volume 2. The missing parrot is revealed to be another stand user that was given special training at Dio's command. Holhorse and Josuke set out to find and stop a villain who is harming people in Morio by using the parrot's stand ability to reenact the past. Kagurabachi Volume 2. The battle against the ruthless Sojo begins. Sojo speaks of Kunishige's enchanted blades and how they only exist to take the lives of others. While the two fighters respect the same man, they walk conflicting paths. As he witnesses Sojo's cruelty, Chihiro's bloodlust begins to build. Prince Freya Volume 11. As the curtain falls on the battle in Asha, whisperings of an ancient alliance are now spreading across the nations. Freya and her companion's journey to stop the Sigurdian Empire continues. Queen's Quality Volume 21. Fumi continues to learn about her mother in this volume, learning that betrayal ripped away her short-lived happiness. Rainbow Days Volume 14. Second term is here, and everyone is starting to think about college, but Keiichi somehow can't find his motivation. Tsuyoshi has decided on his future plans, but will his girlfriend agree? The Elusive Samurai Volume 14. Tokiyuki, now in hiding, searches for allies who will help him gain vengeance on Takauji. When the impressive noble Kitabatake Akie arrives, he demands that Tokiyuki swear fealty to Emperor Go-Daigo. The heir to the Hojo shogunate finds himself once again forced to make a fateful choice. World Trigger Volume 27. It's the final day of the battle simulation exercises, and the formerly superior Ninomiya's Squad 8 is in decline now that others are exploiting the weaknesses of Chika's units. While Chika grows more and more frustrated, Ninomiya himself is keeping tight-lipped about the whole situation. That night, it all comes to a head when an irritated Emma confronts Ninomiya. Yona of the Dawn, Volume 43. Yona's attempt to reunite with Jeha and Sinha takes a horrible turn, and Sina ends up fighting for his life. You and I Are Polar Opposites, Volume 4. Emotions are running high as Suzuki and her friends prepare for their field trip to Kyoto, where new sights, new experiences, and a chance to see each other in a whole new light await. And that's out on the 4th of February. Akane Banashi, Volume 10. After watching Chocho perform, Akane starts to see a path to becoming the kind of Rakugoka she wants to be. She eagerly asks him to take her under his wing, but with Chocho, everything is a gamble. Fly Me to the Moon, Volume 27. The exam battle is heating up, along with the romantic tension between Asimo and Himari, and we get to see a flashback. See what happened long ago between Tsukasa and a monk who was determined to discover the key to immortality. Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, Volume 12. Upon touching the ancient monument of the goddess, Frieren finds herself cast back in time to 53 years ago. Her old adventuring comrades don't know she has come from the future, and Frieren realises she must protect the secrecy of advancements in magic from their enemies. Here the Demon King has not yet been defeated, and his minions are still powerful and determined to destroy Frieren. Hayate the Combat Butler, Volume 45. Summer vacation is over, but Nagi knows how to keep the good times rolling, ignore all learning opportunities and focus on the big class trip. But a school like Hakuro isn't about to let its students relax. That's how most of our cast winds up either imprisoned in a dungeon or skiing down a mountainside during a blizzard. My Hero Academia, Volume 40. Only one man is walking away from the epic rematch between All Might and All For One. All For One wants nothing more than to reach Tomura, his ideal vessel. With the whole world watching and All Might hanging on by his fingernails, one young protege of his might have to step up to save the day. And that's out on the 11th of February. Sakura Saku, Volume 6. After Saku remembered meeting Iryu back when they were children, it brought them closer together and might have led to something new stirring in Iryu's heart. But Saku is focused on her plans to tour the school festival with Haruki. Will their day together turn out as she hopes? We have a new series called Palace of the Amiga. Ilya, the 13th prince of a small kingdom, was born an unexpected and very much unwanted Amiga, whose birth brought shame upon his royal family. As the lowest ranking member and an Amiga, he is destined for a political marriage meant to improve his kingdom's standing. Resigned to his fate, Prince Ilya travels to his new, faraway home. Upon entering the king's gilded palace, where he's expecting to meet his future husband, he instead finds a mysterious young boy with an unsettling message. Delinquent Daddy and Tender Teacher, Volume 6. This is the final volume of the series, so go buy it if you want to find out how it all ends for these guys. Volume 11 of Candy and Cigarettes. Another series that is ending. Go pick this one up if you want to know how Miharu and Raizo's final mission together ends. My Dear Detective Mitsuko's Case Files Volume 2. In Showa-era Tokyo, fraud is rampant, and Japan's first woman detective, Mitsuko Hoshino, is on the case. The organised crime syndicate responsible for the wave of corruption has captured her, and while in their clutches, Mitsuko discovers a terrible truth. Pet Shop of Horrors Collector's Edition Volume 1. The cult hit classic returns in a beautiful new collector's edition with an all-new translation. In the depths of Chinatown lies a curious pet shop. There it's said you can find any animal you desire, no matter how fantastical or dangerous. The city is plagued with strange accidents, and somehow pets from that shop always seem to be involved. Detective Leon Orcott is determined to pin the blame on Count D, the shop's caretaker, but the beautiful man is just as enigmatic as his pets, and he certainly isn't talking. Daily Report About My Witch Senpai Volume 4. Misono and Hoshino are living life to the fullest, finally sharing an apartment and deepening their relationship. But when the next step of introducing their families arises, suddenly Misono is unsettled. His troubled relationship with his mother comes to light, and he has no intention of contacting her. I Ship My Rival and Me, Volume 2. After a chaotic evening full of giving Gu Yiliang's evil stepmother a piece of his mind, Wei Yanzi is beside himself. It seems that no matter what he does, he and Gu Yiliang only grow closer by the second, but that only spells trouble for Wei Yanzi, who is trying to lay low and keep the few fans he does have. If the fandom were to find out about their new relationship dynamic, there'd be hell to pay, and then some. After all, in their current political climate, it's not like gay men are accepted all that easily, not to mention the damage it could do to their careers. A Tale of the Secret Saint Volume 8. Curtis, captain of the 13th Night Brigade, regains his memories. With his and another saint's help, Freya works to create a cure for yellow speckle fever, the disease that's ravaging Sutherland Islanders once more. But in doing so, she risks revealing the truth about her past self and putting everyone in grave danger. Hatsukoi Note Volume 2 Love's Luster. Two scarred souls, one tender tale of love. Ayumu pays a visit to the culture festival hosted by the school that Tsubame, his former classmate and first love, now attends. But their reunion doesn't last long. Ayumu hears some harsh truths from Tsubame's friend Ryu, who can tell at a glance that he still has feelings for his old flame. Heartbroken, Ayumu tries to search for a new romance, only for his online match to come with a gang of kidnappers. Who will save him? Heroine, Saint, No, I'm an all works made and proud of it, Volume 2. Melody is still too obsessed with all things made to realise she's the heroine with near invincible powers in an otome game. Instead, she's blissfully living her best life as an all-works maid, unaware she's turning the story on its head. When Melody ends up attending the spring ball, all bets are off as new alliances are formed, romances are thwarted, and a mysterious presence crashes the party. Throw Away the Suit Together Volume 3. Find out what choice Haru and Hee-chan make in this final volume of the series. I Want to Escape from Princess Lessons Volume 1. Letitia Dorman is living every girl's dream. She's the daughter of a duke raised in the lap of luxury, and she's engaged to marry the ruggedly handsome Crown Prince, Clark. But if this is a dream, somebody wake her up. In preparation to become part of the royal family, Letty has endured 10 grueling years of lessons on everything from dancing to etiquette. And once she becomes queen, then she'll have to put it all into practice. Her only chance of escape lies in the prince breaking off their engagement. This seems improbable until he shows up at a royal ball with a mysterious woman on his arm. This could be Letty's chance to break free once and for all, but not if Prince Clark has anything to say about it. Stay By My Side After the Rain Volume 3. Kanade and Mashiro have finally moved in together. Just as they're settling into the sunny haze of their new two-person life, it becomes apparent that Kanade has been hiding things from his family. Add a trip back home into the mix, and there's no telling how the weather might turn. Gravitation Collector's Edition Volume 4. Bad Luck shoots to the top of the charts, Shuichi and Yuki's relationship heats up, and Yuki's popularity booms. Shuichi is on cloud 9, but not all is well in rock and roll paradise. When stress starts affecting Yuki's health, Seguchi Toma tries to remove the cause of the problem, Shuichi himself. A new series called The Two Perfect Saint tossed aside by my fiancé and sold to another kingdom. This manga series is inspired by the light novel series. Philia hails from a family renowned for producing generations of saints, and she is no exception. In fact, she is known as the most powerful saint of all time, so extraordinarily gifted that many people find her insufferable. When even her fiancé decides he can't stand her, he suddenly calls off their engagement. He's so eager to never see her again that he sells her off to a neighbouring country in dire need of a saint of their own. Now, Philia readies herself to face the unknown, fully expecting more miserable treatment. After all, she'd be a fool to expect anyone to welcome her with open arms, right? Another new series, Choking on Love. Opposites attract in this shoujo romance about a career-focused artist and the bad boy guitarist who turns her world upside down. Hibari, a single-minded art student with dreams of becoming a graphic designer, feels insecure about being ordinary compared to her peers. Gaku, a free-spirited guitarist from the same university, turns her world upside down after a chaotic encounter at a ramen shop. Hibari wants nothing more than to escape the disorder Gaku brings to her perfectly planned life, but as he slowly breaks down her walls, Hibari starts to realise that a little chaos might be just what she needs. King the Land Volume 1. Gu-won's upbringing was straight from a storybook. He was the prince of his own world, surrounded by opulence and luxury. Yet beneath the facade of grandeur, his life was a tapestry of loneliness and betrayal. With a father who pits him against his own sister, Gu-won's world is icy and devoid of joy, until he meets Sa-rang, the sunny daughter of a humble servant. Her friendship and radiant smile begin to thaw his frozen heart, but tragedy strikes, tearing them apart and leaving Sa-rang orphaned and adrift. As their paths diverge, bitterness and longing fuel their journey onward. Can these once inseparable friends navigate their way back to each other? Sheep Princess in Wolf's Clothing Volume 5. This is the final volume of the series, so go read it to find out how it all ends for Momo and Aki. Tomo-chan is a Girl, Volumes 4 to 6. In this omnibus edition, Tomo is torn. On one hand, she wants her best friend and crush, Jun, to see her as a girl, but on the other hand, she really wants to kick his butt in the school sports tournament. When summer vacation comes around, Tomo and Jun decide to go see the fireworks together. Can Tomo use this romantic evening to let Jun know how she really feels about him? The Lady and Her Butler Volume 3. It's wedding season and Suha is reminded of why she stays so distant from others, except, inexplicably, Taeso, who continues to go above and beyond as a housekeeper. But Taeso has his own life to get back to, as Suha painfully discovers when she sees she's listed in his phone as landlady. Is that all she'll ever be to Taesu? Even Though We're Adults Volume 10. Check out this final volume to see what happens to Ayano and Akari. Crossplay Love Otaku x Punk Volume 11. Having gotten off to a good start, the Tenma 6th High School Festival is in full swing, and it's going pretty well, all things considered, until Nakamura-shi suddenly disappears. With the class rep missing, there's no one else available to go find him except for an unexpected pair. Will Hana be able to work with Shumei of all people in order to find Nakamura? From Tokyo Pop we have a new series called My Contract with the Apothecary Monster. In this world, monsters consume a person's lifespan in exchange for granting their every wish. However, Nea's mysterious apothecary monster seems uninterested in consuming hers. White Liar, a BL one-shot featuring a romance between an actor and his beautician, written and illustrated by Tomo Serizawa, who also wrote Snow Fairy and Scarlet Secret. Shiraishi Kei is a talented freelance beautician who's experienced more downs than ups when it comes to past relationships, and so has decided to swear off love. However, when the mysterious up-and-coming actor Tiger enters his life, their casual one-night stand turns into much more. Unbeknownst to Kei, Tiger has been harbouring a secret for years, something that changes the meaning behind fooling around, as the line between lies and sincerity are blurred in this whirlwind showbiz love story. The Margrave's Daughter and the Enemy Prince Volume 1. This enemies to lovers fantasy romance follows a strong-willed, sword-wielding heroine who takes control of her own destiny. Anna, daughter of the Margrave of Helmick, is tired of the expectations placed on women in court. She has no interest in marrying a nobleman because society expects it of her. Instead, she works hard on her swordsmanship and dreams of joining her father on the battlefield someday. Unfortunately, fate deals her a heavy blow. When the hostile forces of the Kingdom of Albion invade and take the Helmick heir prisoner, she is given to the enemy prince in exchange for her brother's life. But even in the face of these tragic circumstances, Anna still has plans of her own. From Square Enix we have Sinnoh Alice Volume 6. This is the final volume of the series, so go pick this volume up to find out how it all ends. Soul Eater Not the Perfect Edition Volume 3. This is also the final volume, and it's out on the 4th of February. And Soul Eater The Perfect Edition Volume 17, another final volume. So lots of series ending over at Square Enix. My Isekai Life Volume 17. In a forest infested with ghost-like monsters called wraiths, Yuji finds a facility of an organisation known only as the Laboratory. In order to uncover the truth of the organisation, he sends his slimes to infiltrate. The Otaku Love Collection Volume 1. Life has its simple joys, and for geeky fanboy Wataru Otonari, that's admiring his gorgeous classmate Yuzuru Kakui, and her equally gorgeous boyfriend Chihiro Kawai. Luckily for Wataru, his classroom seat next to Yuzuru gives him a perfect view of his OTP, But this self-professed NPC doesn't seem to know he's just as beautiful himself, and every day turns into a rollercoaster of emotions for this obliviously beautiful boy failure. Cherry Magic 30 Years of Virginity Can Make You a Wizard, Volume 13. Tsuge abruptly told Minato that he's a wizard who can read minds, which has left Minato completely blindsided. In fact, he had no idea what to do, and fled the scene. Minato knows Tsuge is not the type to lie, but does that mean magic is real? Meanwhile, Tsuge turns to Adachi and Kurosawa for help. So those are the releases for the first half of February. There's quite a few series ending, but we're also getting quite a lot of new series, so that's quite exciting. As always, if you'd like to get an extra 5% off at SciFier.com, please feel free to use the code Jay'sManga. SciFier is amazing, it has lots of manga on there at very discounted prices. I hope you have a fantastic manga buying month, everyone. Bye!